Hello and welcome to Dining with Death, where we discuss infamous cases of death and murder that have an element of food to them, and then we cook the food from the case. I'm Stacy Lee. Let's begin. Today we are going to discuss the Pizza Pipeleline Murder from Moscow, Idaho. Of all the things you may envision going on in a pizza parlor, conspiracy, hiring of hitmen, and murder doesn't usually come to mind first. But a small-town Idaho pizzeria became the setting for a plot amongst coworkers that ended in the murder of a lovely young woman. On December 11, 2001, 21-year-old Tonya Hart was shot to death in Moscow, Idaho. She was shot once in the heart and once in the head when she opened the door of her mobile home to her killer. Tanya Hart was a lifelong resident of Moscow, Idaho, where she graduated from Moscow High School in 1998. Hart worked with developmentally disabled adults at Milestones Decisions. At the time of her murder, Tanya was sharing a home with her fiancé, Jesse J. Linderman. Many people called him Shorty. The killer knocked on the door of the mobile home and Hart asked who was there. The killer answered, Joe. Hart then opened the door and was shot twice. The killer then ran east over a hill to Polk Road, tossing the gun in a residential garbage can along with some items of clothing. After an investigation and interviewing those close to people involved, it was determined that this was a murder-for-hire case. A man came forward to give police details about what he knew, and in August of 2002, Jesse Linderman, Tanya Hart's fiancé, was arrested on a Thursday evening by Latah County Sheriff's Office deputies and held without bail. Well, this is one of those cases where someone close to the victim, I guess that makes us feel a little bit better about the fact that she opened her front door to her killer, but doesn't make me feel much better. Linderman allegedly hired David Meister, 19, a co-worker of his at Pizza Pipeleine, to kill Tanya Hart, and offered to pay him $1,000 with a $100 bonus if he killed her before Christmas 2001. The motive for the killing was not entirely clear in the beginning. Linderman allegedly approached Meister about 2 months before the shooting and offered to pay him for killing Hart. Linderman then gave Meister $500 in cash shortly before the murder. Meister used this to purchase an Ultramax Hi-Point 9mm firearm from Michael Paul Garrison, another employee at Pizza Pipeleine. Seems like there's a lot of guns and murder going on in this pizza place. Meister told Garrison that he wanted the gun to, quote, cap someone in the face and run off. Meister paid more than twice the value of the gun in cash and told Garrison he was, quote, still making money on this deal, and that someone had given him a lot of money to obtain the gun. David Meister was brought in for questioning after the man who sold him the gun came forward and told police about the sale. Well, good for him. Police realized Meister worked with Linderman at the pizzeria and put two and two together. Meister eventually made a full confession to killing Hart. He said he did it because he was hired by Linderman. He said, one night in the pizzeria, I made an offhanded comment that I would kill someone for $1,000. He said Linderman overheard the statement and came to his house the next day. He asked if he wanted to go for a ride, and when we were in the truck, he said, you want to kill my girlfriend? I'll give you $1,000. He said Linderman told him he had been trying to leave Hart for 2 years, but she had attempted suicide after a breakup attempt. Linderman said Hart's father had threatened him and told him he better not hurt his daughter, so he was afraid to break up with her. Well, obviously the only course of action you then have is to have someone murdered. I mean, really? Meister said he started to look on this as a mercy thing. He said, I didn't really have any emotion about it whatsoever. No big deal. It's just another life. They come and go. Cool. Cool. Meister later recanted this entire confession. This included recanting the part about Linderman being involved. However, police were able to match footprints at the crime in the snow to shoes owned by Meister. After trying for a considerable amount of time to mount a case against Jesse Linderman, without Meister's accusation, not enough information was available to continue prosecution of Linderman. Conspiracy charges were then dropped against him for lack of evidence. In February of 2012, David Meister was found guilty for the murder of 21-year-old Tanya Hart. Meister also worked as a tattooer and was known to draw dark and disturbing images. A lot of tattooists and artists draw darker images, but during the sentencing hearing, a friend of Meister's, Erin Higman, testified that around the time of the murder, she would watch him draw, quote, awfully brutal depictions of women being tortured or mutilated in some fashion, unquote. I know a lot of artists that draw dark images, but I think when you have somebody that's drawing depictions of torture and mutilation and abuse of women all the time, not saying artists can't draw whatever they want, doesn't make you a murderer, but sometimes the signs are there. Meister later asked the judge to provide him with some, quote, light at the end of the tunnel, unquote. The judge told Meister there was no justification or way to predict he wouldn't commit another crime. Tanya Hart's mother, Deborah, addressed Meister by saying, "You are a cold-blooded murderer, and I hope you burn in hell all your days left on earth." I second what Tanya's mother said. I wish this was the end of the story, but sadly it is not. In July of 2009, a legal opinion made by the Idaho Supreme Court stated that Meister had been unfairly convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder, and that the district court had incorrectly applied the wrong legal standard when excluding another possible suspect's confession. Court documents show that there were at least 2 reports that another man confessed to the shooting. Thankfully, that was investigated, and in March of 2014, the Idaho Court of Appeals rejected the appeal of Meister and upheld his conviction of first-degree murder and conspiracy and ordered the sentence of 2 life terms stand. In April of 2015, Meister filed a request for post-conviction relief. It too was denied. So it looks like he's officially done, and the world is a better place for it, let's be honest. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Pizza Pipeline. Mike Knight and partner Gene Boyk opened the first Pizza Pipeline in Spokane, Washington in 1988. The partners sold everything they had and used creative financing to open their first store. Knight says he wanted the pizzeria to be the next pizza giant. Franchises were opened in Oregon, Colorado, Texas, and Missouri. After Knight admits that things got out of control at the faraway locations, with one franchisee putting Spam pizza on the menu. I like Spam in some things, but I don't think on pizza. The company scaled back the number of locations. The chain is well known in the Spokane area and boasts a pizza called the Colossus that is larger than a lot of restaurant tables. It's 26 inches wide and serves 10 hungry pizza lovers. When I looked at the Pizza Pipeline website, it appears all remaining locations are now in Spokane. The menu has pizza, subs, and extras like wings, rib tips, fiery chicken strips, cheesy garlic sticks, and cinnamon sweet sticks for dessert. They have a very unusual pizza on the menu called the Thai Peanut Supreme. So, of course, you know that's the one that I have to make. So stay with me as I recreate this pizza from Pizza Pipeline, a place where a very evil and devious plot was hatched to murder a nice young woman. Today, as we go dining with death. We are ready to cook. Let's make some kind of weird pizza. We're gonna start with 2 whole chicken breasts, and I always butterfly my chicken breasts. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't like the big thick piece. The tip gets dried out, and this just provides for a much more even cook. So get those cleaned and ready to marinate. Okay, let's make some marinade for this chicken. We're gonna start by chopping up 3 nice cloves of garlic. Slice those and then mince them up really fine. You're going to need the juice of 1 lime. Don't you love these cool juice presses they have now? We're going to take 4 little Thai chilies, mince those up really tiny. They're very spicy. 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, this funky umami goodness. 2 tablespoons of mirin, which is rice wine, and a teaspoon of sesame oil. 3 tablespoons of honey for some sweetness in the marinade. And then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of pepper, our garlic, our lime juice, then we have our mirin, fish sauce, and honey mixture, and then those delicious little Thai chilies. Give that a good whisk. Take your chicken breasts and put them in a Ziploc bag. Put the marinade over it, give them a good stir, and then zip it up tight and go ahead and put that in the fridge. I have these big, beautiful chicken breasts that have marinated for about 4 hours in all of those yummy ingredients that we put together earlier. And I'm gonna grill these. I think with Thai food, I associate that as having kind of a wood flavored taste to it. So I'm gonna do these on the grill. You could do them in a pan if you want, but it's a nice day outside, so I'm gonna grill them. Got this beautiful chicken off the grill. You can see that the sugars have caramelized. It's got a nice char on it. So it's gonna add a very authentic Thai chicken flavor to this pizza. I don't know about you, but I like the pieces of stuffs on my pizza to be smaller. I don't really like a big chunk of sausage or a big chunk of chicken. So I'm gonna slice these kind of thin. And I may even chop this up a little bit. I like my pizza like I like my salads. I like everything mixed together really well, and I like littler pieces. It's just a personal preference. That's a really big piece of chicken to me for a piece of pizza. So I'm just kind of gonna angle cut some of these. That's a little bit of a tough piece, just to get them a little bit more bite size. It's really juicy and it smells really good. I can't wait to try this. In fact, with the peanut sauce that we're gonna put on this, that's gonna be really, really good. Yeah. We have a lizard that lives on our back porch. We've named him Blackjack Slim, and he gets into all kinds of trouble and he does all kinds of escapades and capers and things. We tell stories to my granddaughter about Blackjack Slim, and he just booked across with a big something in his mouth he's eating. I don't know, a bug. I went back and forth with myself on this crust issue because I want to show you how to make crust, but at the same time, I think a lot more people would make pizza at home if it weren't for the crust, because it's really intimidating. A lot of people don't deal with yeast and all of that kind of stuff. And then, you know, I got thinking, there's a million videos on the internet of people that do pizza dough way better than I do. Baking is a whole other thing. It's a science, and there are people that know how to do that better than I do. So I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy crust at home by not making a crust. We're using this stuff. I did a ton of research, and basically consensus is that the Trader Joe's frozen pizza dough is kind of the top of the line pizza dough that you can buy already made, but I do not have a Trader Joe's in my town yet. It's getting ready to open. And so I got this Pillsbury, which also had very high ratings. So we're gonna use this today, and hopefully this will encourage more of you to make pizza at home, because it's really fun and kids love helping to make pizza. So we're gonna start by preheating the oven to 400 degrees, and then we're gonna press this into a pan. Okay, the worst part, we have to open these. I don't know why I hate opening these. I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I haven't done this for years, so. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. It's the anticipation of it not doing it, right? Okay. Oh no. Press spoon as I'm gonna use my fingers. Oh! My experience with pre-made dough is not a lot. Okay, so that's not gonna be big enough to cover my pan. So I think what I'm gonna do is double these up, which will give me more thickness, and then I can roll them out. Because if I put them together, there's gonna be a seam down the middle, and then it will probably, if I remember the last time I used something like this, it kind of doesn't work. It bubbles up and is weird. Okay, I'm gonna flour these because I have to roll them, and this pre-made dough is really sticky. I could be shooting myself in the foot for doing this. I really could be, but we're gonna find out, and then at least if it doesn't work for me, you'll know it doesn't work, right? I'm actually gonna leave this overhang on the side of the pizza and kind of wrap it under the pan. So let me cut off this excess. I'll make cinnamon rolls or something with that. And then I'm kind of gonna tuck this. People that do pizza for a living are now angry, and that's okay, I would be too. But I just have a feeling this dough's gonna shrink up, so. I'm just kind of giving you a shortcut in case you want to make pizza at home and don't want to do the dough and the whole bit. It's a fun thing to do. Like I said, kids love it. That is an easy way to get a pizza crust for pizza at home. I know there's a ton of videos with fancy pizza peels and pizza stones and special ovens, and that's great. I love all of that stuff. This is just an easy shortcut if you're interested in that. If you're not, there's tons of videos online, and I'll actually find a couple and put them in the links in the comments, and you can learn how to make pizza dough if you want. Okay, I've got about 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese. I like Monterey Jack for pizzas like this that are a little less traditional because it's a little bit stretchier than some of the mozzarellas that you buy, unless you go really all out and get the real mozzarella. But I thought this would be a good mild cheese to go with this pizza, so we're gonna shred that up. Don't buy pre-shredded cheese. It's got flour and cornstarch dusted all over the outside of the pieces so they don't stick together. And not only is that starch and preservatives that you don't need in your diet, it changes the way the cheese melts. So always shred your own cheese. I know it's a pain. My knuckles have scars to prove how much I shred my own cheese. And I am an extra cheese girl. I make no apologies for it. I think my social media bios say I like cheese. Because I do. Cheese is life. That should be enough for one pizza, right? One pizza if I'm making it anyway. I've got about a cup of peanuts here. The Pizza Pipeline pizza said that it had cashews on it. But I'm like, it's a Thai peanut pizza. I'm going all the way with peanuts. So I'm gonna give these a chop. We're gonna sprinkle those on for a little bit of crunch. I've got about a cup of bean sprouts here. We're gonna put those on after the pizza comes out of the oven. We're not gonna bake those. And same with this nice bunch of cilantro. It's gonna be about half of a cup once I get it chopped. We're almost ready to put this pizza together. Gotta make this sauce real quick. This is 1.5 cups of peanut butter. And to that, I started out with 1/2 cup of coconut milk. And as I stirred that together, it looked like it needed a little bit more to me. So it ended up being a total of about 3/4 cup of coconut milk. And then I did the juice of 1 lime, again with this awesome lime press. That is 1 tablespoon of fish sauce and 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. That's 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. And then you're gonna whisk that all together. It takes it a second to come together, but when it does, it makes this beautiful, creamy peanut sauce that is delicious. The crust is a little wonky, I'm not gonna lie. You can either kind of have shortcuts that work, or you can have perfection, but you can rarely have both. Isn't that true with most things in life? So it's gonna work. It's not the greatest pizza crust in the world, but I think it's gonna taste great. Here is this gorgeous peanut sauce that we made earlier. I'm just gonna kind of dab that on and spread it. Okay, let's do the chicken first. Load this up with chicken. That look good? Okay, it might be time to fight because I'm putting pineapple on this. I particularly like pineapple on my pizza, but I know those are fighting words for some of you. This is a Thai pizza. It needs that sweetness. I will say, of all of the cultures, I think Asian food does some of the best at spicy, salty, sour, sweet, and acid, and savory, and all of the good things. So it needs this little bit of pineapple. I'm gonna put the peanuts on before I bake it so they kind of melt into the sauce and get toasty. And the last thing we're gonna put on before it goes in the oven is the cheese. Isn't this beautiful? It's weirdly wonderful, right? Yeah, it's different for sure. This is gonna go into the oven for about 8 minutes. I'm gonna check it and see where the cheese is at. We want it nice and toasty. Our pizza is out of the oven and it smells really good. Very peanutty. If you are not a peanut lover, you will not like this pizza. The cheese is melted, the edges of the crust are all toasty, and it smells like warm toasted peanuts. So I'm gonna slide this off the pan and let it cool a little bit because I don't wanna add these fresh ingredients when it's so piping hot because they'll get kind of warm and mushy. And you always wanna slide your pizza off of your pan before you cut it because your pizza roller will leave marks on your pan. So always slide it off and cut it on a cutting board. Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you don't like either one of these ingredients, of course you can leave them off, but they're very Thai, and where this is Thai Peanut Supreme, that's what we're doing. So these are just bean sprouts that I've washed and rinsed, and another controversial ingredient, cilantro. I like cilantro too. I like almost everything. The only thing I've ever found that I really don't like is truffle oil. And then after looking into it, I found out it's not a real thing. It's just olive oil infused with a chemical to make it taste like truffles. And I have a very sensitive nose, and I'd like to think I have a good palate, and I don't like it. It tastes like chemicals to me. And because everything's better with fresh cracked pepper, try this. I have never had a pizza with this kind of topping on it before, so I'm looking forward to this. Okay, let's give this a taste. It's good. It's not my favorite pizza. It reminds me more of like a wrap or a sandwich that you would get at a Thai place. If I were in the mood for pizza, this isn't what I would want. When I'm in the mood for pizza, I want tomato sauce, I want mozzarella, I want sausage, I want green peppers and onions and mushrooms and all of that good stuff. It's good, it's different. It just tastes to me more like a Thai wrap, or like those healthier places where you get the tortilla with the Thai chicken and the peanut sauce. That's what it reminds me of. The pineapple is a really welcome addition because other than that, it's just like rich peanut butter. So it really needs the pineapple. And I have to say the little crunchy peanuts are really pleasant on it. They're really kind of a nice little textural difference. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. Is it my favorite pizza? No, it's not. But I'm sure we'll be making a regular classic pizza at some point, so we can look forward to that. And this is a good pizza. It's something different. It's something unique. And if you're ever in the mood to try something a little bit strange and weird, this is a good choice. I appreciate you joining me today as we made Thai Peanut Supreme, pizza from Pizza Pipeline, discussing the murder of Tonya Hart. Please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for joining me today as we went dining with death.